Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. In the vast cosmos, there are many types of life, and life on Deathworld stands out as both a marvel and a nightmare. Deathworlders are species that have evolved on planets where survival is not a simple task. It is a constant, brutal fight against the environment, predators, and even the very laws of nature. These beings, forged in the crucible of a planet that seeks to kill them at every turn, are not just survivors. They are warriors, honed by eons of evolutionary pressure into creatures capable of withstanding unimaginable hardships. They are intelligent, ruthless, and possess a kind of strength and resilience that goes beyond physical prowess. These beings have learned how to fight the forces of nature itself, to manipulate their surroundings, and to adapt to dangers that would obliterate most life forms in mere moments. But among all of their strengths, one of the most formidable, terrifying, and unyielding aspects of Deathworlders is their persistence when it comes to protecting their young. Life on Deathworlds is not just about surviving, it is about ensuring that the next generation has a chance to thrive. These creatures are not merely protective, they are absolute in their devotion to their offspring, willing to go to unimaginable lengths to ensure their safety and survival. For Deathworlders, the children are not only their future but the lifeblood of their species. And woe to any who attempt to harm them. To attempt to take or harm the children of a Deathworlder is to step into the realm of a predator's most sacred territory. The survival of these creatures depends not just on their own strength, but on the protection and survival of their progeny. And when that line is crossed, when one dares to take their children, the response is not one of negotiation, reason, or diplomacy. It is one of overwhelming, unrelenting vengeance, driven by a predator's instinct to protect and a parent's devotion to their young. In the world of Deathworlders, where every moment of existence is a struggle against forces far greater than themselves, this bond between parent and child is the most sacred law. To understand why taking a Deathworlder's children is such a dangerous endeavor, one must first understand the world they inhabit. Deathworlds are planets where life must evolve to meet the extreme challenges presented by their environment. From harsh climates, unpredictable weather patterns, and deadly predators, to poisonous plants, hazardous atmospheres, and brutal gravitational forces, Deathworlds are places where life does not thrive without a constant struggle. This means that every life form on such a planet, from the smallest insect to the most massive creature, is built to fight, endure, and adapt. For Deathworlders, survival is a genetic imperative, something encoded into every fiber of their being. But this drive for survival is not a solitary pursuit. Deathworlders understand that to ensure the continuation of their species, they must ensure the survival of the next generation. This instinct is not just a desire, it is a biological imperative that overrides everything else. Their young are the culmination of generations of struggle, the hope that their species will continue to evolve and adapt, that their kind will persist in the face of the ever-present threats their worlds pose. As a result, the survival of offspring is paramount, and the lengths to which a Deathworlder will go to protect their young are beyond comprehension. The biology of Deathworlders is as extreme and fascinating as their behaviors. These beings are often physically formidable, larger, stronger, faster, and more resilient than anything humans could easily imagine. They are built for the extremes of their environment, capable of enduring temperatures that would freeze or scorch other life forms, of withstanding radiation that would tear apart normal organisms, or of surviving in conditions where oxygen is scarce or the atmosphere is toxic. Their senses are honed, often enhanced beyond anything seen on more temperate worlds. Their strength, endurance, and speed make them formidable opponents in combat, and their ability to adapt quickly to new threats makes them unpredictable in ways that are terrifying to an enemy. But the real danger comes when they are protecting their offspring. The parental instincts of Deathworlders are deeply ingrained into their biology, and when their young are threatened, these creatures become relentless, operating on a level of tenacity and drive that is hard to match. The idea of taking a Deathworlder's child is a dangerous proposition for several reasons. First, it's important to understand that Deathworlders do not view their offspring in the same way humans might view children. For Deathworlders, their young are more than just future members of their society, they are the very essence of survival. The young represent hope, the continuity of the species, and the future of their kind. As such, Deathworlders treat their young with a level of care and protection that is often unmatched by other species. The bond between parent and child is often stronger than any other bond in their culture. This is not to say that Deathworlders are incapable of cruelty or aggression, far from it. However, when their children are threatened, they become something far more terrifying than mere predators. They become protectors, driven by an instinctual fury that is unrelenting, focused solely on the safety and well-being of their offspring. The nature of Deathworlders' resilience means that they are built for endurance. While many creatures may fight back out of rage or desperation, Deathworlders are capable of focusing their efforts and extending their resolve for prolonged periods. This is not a simple retaliation, it is a sustained, methodical pursuit of anyone who dares to harm their children. In the same way that a predator might track down its prey with patience and precision, a Deathworlder will hunt those responsible for threatening its young. And much like a predator, this pursuit is driven by an instinct that cannot be bargained with or negotiated away. It is an instinct that overrides every other consideration, making any attempt to escape or evade them futile. This concept is not merely hypothetical. Many Deathworlders, across various species, have evolved with incredible tracking abilities. Their senses are often highly attuned to the faintest signs of danger, capable of detecting a potential threat from vast distances. Their hearing, sight, or scent may allow them to follow an intruder across nearly impossible terrain. And unlike humans, who may seek reprieve or retreat when faced with danger, Deathworlders view these threats as part of an ongoing war for survival. Their relentless pursuit is not bound by logic, mercy, or weakness. It is an instinctual drive to remove any and all threats to their young, no matter how far or how long it takes. If someone dares to take a Deathworlder's child, the entire might of that being's physical abilities, tactical intelligence, and biological adaptability will be unleashed to track down and eliminate the threat. Moreover, the social structures of many Deathworlder species only further intensify this protective instinct. Deathworlder societies often revolve around extreme hierarchies and a fierce loyalty to family and community. In many cases, these societies place the survival of the young above all other priorities. The elderly, the strong, and the leaders of such societies will not hesitate to join in the pursuit of those who harm the children. Such societies are built on the collective understanding that the young are the future, and to harm one child is to harm the entire community. For those who try to take a child, this can result in a response that goes far beyond the individual parent or creature seeking retribution. It becomes a collective vengeance, one where the full weight of the society is brought to bear on the would-be kidnappers or aggressors. The persistence of Deathworlders in their pursuit of justice for their young is not simply a matter of brute strength. It is an unyielding force of will. A predator that is capable of enduring for decades, if not centuries, has learned to adapt not only to its environment but to its adversaries. These creatures do not tire, they do not relent, and they do not forgive. To attempt to take a Deathworlder's child is not just to provoke an immediate fight, it is to invoke an eternal vendetta, one that spans generations. The time, effort, and resources required to escape or evade such an unrelenting predator is beyond anything most species can comprehend. Taking the children of Deathworlders is an action that could lead to near certain destruction. It is an act that demands the absolute focus of a species' most primal instincts, one that drives the predator to a level of fury and precision that most beings cannot fathom. To even consider it is to risk invoking the wrath of an entire ecosystem, one that has learned to survive and adapt to threats far greater than a mere kidnapping. When Deathworlders are pushed to defend their young, they will not stop, relent, or hesitate until the threat has been eradicated. To take their children is to unleash a predator that will follow, hunt, and pursue with such persistence that no corner of the universe will be safe from retribution.